Welcome grade 11s. We're looking at lesson 4 of week 20 and we're focusing today on the structure of the nephron. Now in our last lesson you'll remember that when we looked at the structure of the kidney we saw that there were these pyramid shaped structures that all collected into ducts, calyces and into the renal pelvis. These structures, of course, were the medulla, and they were made up of very, very fine tubules. And it's the tubule that is the nephron that we're going to look at today. This is the structure of the nephron, and it looks very, very complex indeed. If you look at the diagram carefully, you'll see that there is a yellow structure and you'll see that there is red and blue structures, and those red and blue structures are blood vessels. So what you have is a yellow tubule, and the yellow tubule is surrounded by a network, a capillary network of blood vessels. So, how could we describe the structure of the nephron? We have to describe the structure of the nephron together with the structure of the blood vessels. Now, we remember that when we saw the kidney, first of all, we saw that there were the large picture of our kidney, renal arteries bringing blood into the kidney. Now, the renal arteries split into many smaller arterioles. Arterioles are just very, very narrow little arteries. And they split up into hundreds of arterioles that bring the blood, carrying the wastes, rich with the wastes, to the area where the nephron begins. And the first part of the nephron is known as Bowman's capsule. What Bowman's capsule is a little cup, a little hollow cup, and the arteriole flows into the cup and it breaks up into even narrower little capillaries, which then once again join and the arteriole leaves the cup. This little capillary network inside the Bowman's capsule is known as the glomerulus. Now, the Bowman's capsule then is kidney tissue, whereas the glomerulus is blood vessel tissue. The kidney and the blood vessel tissue are known together as the Malpighian body. So the Malpighian body is made up of kidney tissue, the Bowman's capsule, the whole capsule, which is kidney tissue, and in this little capsule or little cup-shaped structure, we've got blood vessel tissue, and that is that artery capillary network is known as the glomerulus. Now, the kidney tube itself, the nephron tube, is then, as it leaves the Bowman's capsule, thrown into folds or convolutions. The proximal convoluted tubule means the tubule that is highly folded, and proximal means closest to, and it's closest to the glomerulus or the Bowman's capsule. The tube then straightens out into what we call a descending part of the loop, moving downwards. The tube rounds and then moves back up upwards. And of course that is then going to be the ascending branch of the loop of Henle. So the loop goes down, descending, and there's the ascending side of the loop of Henle. And you'll notice that the whole area, the proximal convoluted tubule and the loop of Henle, has a capillary network surrounding it. Capillary network of blood vessels, of course. As the ascending branch or limb of the loop of Henle comes up towards the area at the top of the nephron again, it's thrown into a second lot of convolutions or folds. So we have the distal convoluted tubule. Remember I told you that proximal means closest to something. Well, distal means distanced or further away from the Bowman's capsule area of the kidney. A whole lot of distal convoluted tubes from different nephrons all collect together into the collecting duct, and the collecting duct takes the urine that has been produced to the calyx. Homework questions, grade 11s. What is a Malpighian body? Number 2, which convoluted tube lies closest to the Bowman's capsule? What tissue is closely associated with the kidney tissue?